Hello, welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast with me, Gareth, and my dutiful host, Keith. Hello, Keith.
Hello, Keith.
How
you doing?
I'm doing all right.
It was a surprisingly good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a busy week work-wise, but entertainment-wise, damn good week with a few things which I'm sure we're going to talk about. So, yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, it's I had a good week. One of the highlights of the week is a TV show called Mobland on Paramount Plus.
I know,
fucking brilliant.
It's really
You've been watching it. It's really good. I've just her in the mirror, and what a bitch!
Oh, I know.
Does it so well. Her and the grandson, the two of them, are just, you really fucking hate them. They're doing such a good job. They really are. Which is good, because that's what you want. You don't want, if you're running a couple of shitty characters, it's important to make sure they are shitty.
Helen Mirren's brilliant. What a cast though. Yeah, no, we can talk about that. I didn't realise you were watching that. Yeah, I have been watching Mobland. Guy Ritchie directed the first one, I think.
First two.
Okay. I know he directed the first one, but yeah, Helen Mirren.
And he's an executive producer. Pierce Brosnan, Irish Pierce Brosnan. Whoa, that takes some getting used to.
Isn't he Irish, though, in real life?
He is Irish, yeah. The problem is he's had received pronunciation training, so all of that's been taken out.
Until now.
Yeah, it's like Brian Blessed's a Northerner, but you can't hear the Northerners in him because he's had received pronunciation and all that's been knocked out of him.
Yeah. True.
So yes. Yeah. So, shall we get into it?
Yes.
Oh, let's pick a video. It's Disney. We'll have this.
Put a ticket in, make her name it.
So, Disney have had their financial highlights come through, or results pop in. So we're going to have a quick dip into them. So I'm just going to read you some of the headlines that I found from around the internet. So Disney's Q2 2025 soared to $23.6 billion, which is a 7% increase year over year. Adjusted for earnings per share hits $1.45. Expected to go past 120, considering it had a bit of a dip off. Net income skyrocketed to $3.3 billion, a significant jump from 216 million the previous year. So they've been taking it in. Disney Plus, despite what we've heard, has gained 1.4 million subscribers, totaling 126 worldwide. Combined with Hulu and ESPN Plus, total subscriptions are now 180.7 million subscribers. Streaming operates income suggests a surge to 336 million, up from its 47 million last year. Parks and experiences, revenue from the parks experiences climbed to 8.9 billion, exceeding expectations. Disney's plans for Disney Abu Dhabi, first theme park in the Middle East, partnership with the UAE brand Miril. And then looking ahead, it's that. But so this is the thing, yeah. When it comes to stocks and shares, if you know anything about stocks and shares, most of it's speculation, most of it's kind of public opinion, and most of it's bollocks. Yeah. And it is. Trust me, I actually have a qualification in stock trading, believe it or not. But because I have a qualification in stock trading, I know how it works and I know how you get fucked over and quickly by it. But if they say they're doing well, odds on, if their market believes them, then they're doing well. The downside is consumers don't think they're doing well. They started bulldozing parts of Disney World. Which is I'm not happy about, because I'm going to go there soon. So we've got that to look forward to. And then we look at Disney Plus, yeah? And Disney Plus, now I know what they keep doing. They keep packaging it up with other things to make it look better, yeah? So if you buy a Hulu subscription, you have to have a Disney Plus subscription. ESPN subscription, you have to have a Disney Plus subscription. So people who want ESPN will wind up paying extra for Disney Plus. And this is kind of like it was in the old days of cable. Well, cable here in the UK. You wanted to have just the channel Bravo. You had to get the entire bloody suite of entertainment channels with it, which kind of sucks. But going back into it, they really know how to, how can I put it? Really know how to present this stuff, even though we know it's not what it is. We know that Disney parks are going to hit a real bad skid when Epic Universe opens up. Sorry, it's already opened up. Yeah, and the forecast for Disney visitors is also down, but that was never mentioned because they're quite good at doing all that shit and not mentioning that bit.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Lilo and Stitch is coming out in 2 weeks, and they have gone full-blown bananas in their marketing for that. And I mean, it's some clever fucking marketing. I don't know if you've been seeing social media, but they've got these quite clever animatronic, self-contained Stitches that they're sticking in loads of cinemas. And I mean, it's incredible animatronics because it's all self-contained. And they've got him bursting out of popcorn. They've got him, on all sorts of things. So I think, that film's going to be a hit. That film is going to be a hit. It's coming out at the right time. All the kids want to see it, even though there's been hell, I want to go and see it. So I think that will be a hit for Disney. But you have How to Train Your Dragon in a couple of weeks' time. And that just also happens to be part of the new Universal Park. So that's going to be a massive.
Have you
bump
seen that
for the
How
park.
to Train Your Dragon animatronic they've got at the park?
Well, they're flying the kind of dragon drone.
No.
Are you talking about the baby?
Big thing that's like
yeah.
just bigger than a person wandering around, and it's I think two people in it, like a horse costume, but it's got an animatronic neck and head and this, that, and the other. It looks fucking amazing.
I've seen the baby toothlesses, which are all animatronic. There's nobody in those. They're quite clever. And yes, the full-sized toothless, which is again incredible. It's going to do good for the park. Disney are going to have a bump, but 1.4 million subscribers ain't that much. Not in terms of it's not a lot. And we'll do a story in a minute because they're attributing that to Daredevil, although I'm not entirely sure why, but we'll talk about that in a sec. There has been some good stuff on Disney Plus. Paradise, although that was Hulu, but it is on Disney Plus internationally. But that ain't going to attribute for the 15 billion that it's losing. And, what's going to attract you to Disney Plus now? Because we got a couple of stories coming up where we're going to talk about this. So, yeah, I think it's all sort of spin to make it look good. But Disney are in trouble. They are. They will have a hit with Lilo and Stitch. It will be a hit. But they've spent a fucking fortune on marketing.
How
much actual profit?
Out of all the things I've seen come out of Disney, Lilo and Stitch is the one I've looked at and gone, that's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong, knowing me.
No,
but,
it's going to be a hit. My niece wants to see it. It's all over here. It's all over social media this week. As I said, these animatronic robots have gone viral. It's clever. It's genius. They put this big bucket of popcorn in the middle of the cinema and people just walk past it and Stitch just jumps out going, and then he's got them they've got them scanning people's tickets into the cinema. Yeah. He's doing scanning. And then another one where he's driving around on a little car. It's genius. But that must cost a fucking fortune. So, they've spent money on this already.
Yeah.
And they must have spent a fortune on marketing. And, they've got Avatar at the end of the year, which I think will do well.
I don't get Avatar whatsoever. I like the ride at Animal Kingdom. It's bloody fantastic. It's the best Avatar thing, full stop. Okay, but Avatar itself makes no sense. It has no cultural impact anywhere. Are there Avatar channels talking about Avatar theories? Are there Avatar games, branding? Nothing. The best bit of merch that Avatar's produced is a candle.
I didn't understand why the second film did so well, because I didn't think much of it.
I didn't think much of the first one.
I can understand why the first one did well. The first one was James Cameron, so it had a bit of the Titanic effect on it. It had 3D, and there's no way around it. That 3D bit where they've got the floating seeds in there, that was pretty spectacular. And it was it was the first time it had been done. There was a lot of hype about it. I understand why the first one was popular. Second one, not so much. But I suspect the third one will do the same, even though I don't understand it. But look, that's fine. But Snow White was a complete bomb.
Yeah.
Right? They've got several series coming out on Disney Plus that are going to tank straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if the rumour's true, Kevin Feige doesn't want them to be released. But again, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, it's bullshit. 1.4 million isn't enough not to make a $15 billion deficit. And at some point, that's going to have to come back to bite them. That, I mean, you know, the new Avengers, because they were forced, right? Despite, because a lot of people have been critical this week that Disney revealed what the star was meant on the Thunderbolts. But the thing is, they've rebranded the movie already to try and get the audience in. And the fall off has been quite a bit, which is kind of sad because it's the first. Whilst I don't entirely agree with the critics, it wasn't bad. But unfortunately, because you had to do your homework to watch it, it's why it's fallen off, and even calling it the new Avengers hasn't worked. Disney are in trouble.
Yeah, they are in trouble. And with that, let's move on to our next story. Hang on a second.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I love that dude too. Let's talk about the surprising twist in Daredevil's Born Again episode 5, entitled Hostage Crisis, which has stirred quite the conversation. In the episode, Matt Murdock finds himself entangled in a bank robbery alongside Yusuf Khan, Miss Marvel's father. Whilst the premise promised tension and action, the execution leaned heavily into a comedic element and product placement, notably featuring a Miss Marvel Funko Pop. Critics had labelled it as a filler episode diverging from the show's typically intense narrative. The action sequences were brief, and the episode concluded with a whimsical twist involving butterstop candy replacing a stolen diamond. Fans and critics alike hope for the detail was just a one-off and the series will return to its gritty roots in upcoming episodes. So, I like that episode. Was it the Daredevil episode? No. If I was in charge, I would have pulled that episode out and I would have stealth dropped that onto Disney Plus as a warm-up to Daredevil. I'd have turned around and go, here's a warm-up to Daredevil. Yeah, and then you've got it and you go, okay, cool.
It was completely independent of the show. It's why they released 2 episodes that week. The fact that it was released in the middle... Yeah, I agree with you. Had it been released as a one-shot, possibly would have worked. Would have been a nice little link into the MCU, the Disney Plus version of the MCU with Kamala Khan's dad. But I didn't. I understand why you liked it, but it took you out the whole narrative of it, and it was a pointless episode.
Can I just point out one thing, Keith? The narrative was crap.
But it still took you out of it. Now I know why you like it, but why it was stuck in the middle, why it was left there, fuck knows. Should have been at the beginning, or a one shot released as a little teaser
warm up.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock's still out there. He's still doing his things. Get ready. That was how I'd have done it, and that's. I think people have appreciated that too. But that Daredevil, that's fine. He can do that, and it does. It is narratively out, but it does make him the hero, if that makes any sense. It did a lot of stuff right. It made him the hero. It made him go, right, I can't put the fucking Daredevil costume on, but I can do everything I can to try and keep everyone safe, keep them away from the criminals, isolate the criminals one by one, take them out one by one, make sure no one gets hurt. And that's what heroes do, yeah? And that's why you watch it and should enjoy it. But in the grand scheme, it should have been a stealth drop. It should have been something that would have like a tease to warm you in to the new series. I think would have worked better, and people would have gone, yeah, that was a nice warm up, and they wouldn't have cared. But the problem is that you're telling a very trite story, shall we say, and then you had that break. So it was terrible, something completely different. And I'll be honest with you, because I found it terrible, I found that one quite entertaining.
I get that, but it was in the wrong order. I mean, they are attributing the 1.4 million to the Daredevil effect, which I can partially believe. What they're not telling you is how many unsubscribed afterwards, which I suspect quite a few did. I don't think Daredevil was quite the flop that some people would like you to believe. It did appear in the Nielsen. And so I don't think it was the flop. It was a flop in terms of being a good show, but it wasn't a flop commercially. And season 2, I still think season 2 is going to be far more coherent. Whether it's any good or not is another matter, but I think it will be more coherent. The problem with this is it wasn't coherent. Part of the problem with season 1 was it was all over the place because it was a mixture of two creative teams, which is why it was even weirder to put that episode in the middle. But I agree with you. It had been dropped at the beginning, I probably would have appreciated it more. And I can understand why you did appreciate it because you found it crap. I was trying to like it, but in the end I couldn't. So maybe season 2 will be better. I didn't like the Kingpin scene at the end, crushing the skull. It just felt out of place. It felt you didn't need to do that for him to be menacing. That's lazy writing. That's lazy. By actually showing such a gratuitous scene, you're trying to get people talking about it. And you know, oh, it's the most violent scene in the MCU ever. Yeah, it is. But you didn't need it. The Kingpin, you can make the Kingpin, through decent writing, you can make him menacing without actually having to show that shit. And I just didn't think it was very good. So no. And I think it's 1.4 million. Let's see in the next quarter how many down. There you go.
Yeah, it's annoying. I'm annoyed because I like Daredevil on Netflix. I liked all of it, apart from the Defenders I wasn't too keen on. And it's just a shame because they had the secret source, but they didn't follow said secret source to make things happen. Anyway, Bit of Stupid Games brought up that it's Mother's Day in the States, so I've got a special one.
Women, know your limits.
Your wife is not watching. You're lucky, man.
Oh, I'm lucky. Marvel Studios is set to release Vision Quest in 2026, a Disney Plus series that continues the narrative from WandaVision and Agatha all along. The series will focus on White Vision, portrayed by Paul Bettany, as he embarks on a journey to rediscover his identity and humanity. Vision Quest will feature the return of James Spader as Ultron, adding depth to the Vision storyline. Additionally, Farhan Tahir, who will reprise his role as Raza from Iron Man, bringing back one of the MCU's earliest villains. The series will be developed under Marvel Studios' Marvel Television label, with Terry Matalas, known for his good work on Star Trek Picard, serving as showrunner. Filming will commence in March 2025 at Pinewood Studios in London. That's not too far from me. Vision Quest aims to explore the themes of identity, humanity, and continuing the character-driven storyline that fans expect appreciated in WandaVision. As the MCU evolves, this series represents a significant chapter in the expansive narrative. So, Terry Metalis. That's a good sign.
But that's not the important thing. It's set to be the last Marvel series to feature any, characters from the film universe. This is an interesting one. So Feige has said, and it is now rumored that Feige is basically pushing to not have to do anything on Disney Plus. Because, I mean, we spoke a little bit about this last week. Part of the problem that the MCU is so fucked up is because they released Disney Plus just around about the time of Endgame and needed all this shit to attract, subscribers to Disney Plus. And that's the problem with the Thunderbolts, is you have to do all your homework by watching all these series to understand what's going on in Thunderbolts. And Feige said, I don't want anybody to have to do homework to watch an MCU movie. Yes, Kevin. Yes. So, yeah. I mean, I actually think this might be quite good because it's Terry Metalis, so it might actually have something going for it. Terry Metalis makes quite good TV. I loved his 12 Monkeys series. Really, really enjoyed that. We all know what I think about Star Trek Picard Season 3. Can't believe he is not back making Star Trek. That just goes to show how much Kurtzman's ego is running the show, because he can't... the rumours have been true for ages that Kurtzman couldn't take how successful Picard Season 3 was over everything else. Just goes to show how much of a wanker Kurtzman is. And another one of these people that are just failing upwards. I like Paul Bettany. I like Vision. This might be one of those rare occasions where I like an MCU TV series. Don't know. But it's being filmed in England. At least there's that.
Yeah. But for how long? That's the question.
I'm not going there. I purposely haven't put that story.
No, I'm not going there either. I'm not. Why help? Sorry. That's my argument.
Hollywood. If it does happen, Hollywood's fucked. But that's another matter. I am looking forward to this in some ways, but I like the fact that Feige has come out, probably against Iger's wishes, and said this. And he has said, I do not want anybody to have to do homework to go and see an MCU movie. And whilst that's not the entire reason that the MCU has failed in the last 6 years, it is one reason. It is one reason why the movies got a bit shitter, and why you had to watch all this stuff to understand what was going on. Why you had to understand how suddenly Wanda became a bad guy, which really, really didn't work for me in Doctor Strange. That just has never sat right with me. That Wanda became a bad guy. It's why I really, really despise the second Doctor Strange movie, which is annoying because I liked the first one. But you'd had to have watched those Disney Plus series to get it. And it's fucked it all up. It took the normies out of it. It took a lot of the people that really like the MCU as a normies sort of thing, and it destroyed the narrative of the next few things. So I kind of agree with Kevin, but I might be too late.
Okay. We're just kind of picking through the debris at the moment, really, when we come to these sort of things, which sucks, and it shouldn't be that way, but it is. So, with that, time to talk about something I enjoy, and lots of other people enjoy too. But I think this one should do for the MCU.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures have officially announced the next installment in the MonsterVerse saga. Godzilla X Kong Supernova, set to hit theaters in March 2026. March 26, 2027. This sequel follows the 2024 blockbuster Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, where our favourite kaiju duo teamed up to defeat the formidable Scar King. Now under the direction of Grant Sepultura. I have no idea who he is. With a script from Dave Callahan. Oh god, he did Shang-Chi. The Titans are back for another epic. It can't be that hard. Monkey Punch Lizard. The cast boasts the returning of Daniel Stevenson as Trapper Beasley, newcomer Caitlin Dever, Jack O'Connell, Delroy Lindo, Matthew Modine, Alicia Debenham Kerry, and Sam Neill. Tease released by Warner Brothers offers a glimpse into the Titanic activity, with Monarch Organization at the forefront. Fans can even engage in calling a hotline to report Titan sightings, adding an interactive twist to the film's promotion. That sounds interesting. While the plot details are under wraps, Monkey Punch Lizard. Speculation abounds about the title's Supernova. Hints at a cosmic threat. Space Monkey, possibly introducing extraterrestrial titans with the Pacific Rim, with even a crossover into the Pacific Rim universe. Filming is underway in Queensland, contributing significantly to the local economy, providing employment for over 400 cast and crew members. They're keeping the plot under wraps.
I can tell you the plot. As you just said, Space Monkey Punch Space Lizard. Even better.
Yes.
How do you make Lizard Punch Monkey better? Space Lizard Punch.
My god, the invasion of the space lizards.
Yep, done. Right, I'm going to take my big bucket of popcorn, have my money, done. Right, there you go.
It's not going to.
Don't care.
It's not fucking Shakespeare. This stuff isn't Shakespeare. It's not supposed to be Shakespeare.
No.
It is supposed to be silly, proper, disposable fluff. Yeah, which is fine. Have some disposable fluff. That's great. But it's keeping it secret. What have you got to keep? You just keep the bad guy secret. That's all you want. So I'm trying to think of there is a spacey bad guy. I can remember his name. He had like a beaky thing from the original Toho things. The man in a suit. I cannot remember who he is. But yeah, there's some spacey bad guys that they can use. I think there's at least 2 of them. I think King Ghidorah is technically from outer space, who was in the previous one, King of the Monsters. So yeah, I like my monkey punching me lizards. They're great. What's wrong with that? It's, but as I said, it's not fucking. I will never say it's Shakespeare. I will never say, oh, this is brilliant. Yeah, and you have to go and see this. I appreciate it because there's part of me deep down is like a giant child who wants to play with plastic toys, and the other thing is to go into the bits of Legoland where they've built like cities and pretend to be a kaiju themselves and fight a friend, which I'm not allowed to do anymore. I've been kicked out of Legoland Windsor more than once on that. But you know, it's good, and we get some disposable entertainment, and I like that.
It's fast food films, as we used to call them, but they're great.
Yes.
I mean, we don't really care about the plot. We just like monkey smash. I mean, you know, I love that scene. It still makes me laugh. I love that scene in the last one where you think, oh, cute little baby monkey, then he turns into right little shit. So what does King Kong do? Picks him up and smashes him like a fucking club. I'm like, yes. I actually remember going, yes, like that. So not a cute little baby monkey, a little git. And the little git gets his bloody fucking punishment, and it's brilliant. It reminds me of that whole sort of Loki scene in the MCU where the Hulk sort of throws him around. It's the same thing, but it's way better with King Kong and the cute little monkey. Bang, bang, bang. Not so cute.
Yes. No, not so cute. I haven't had this one yet. So let's move on to the next story.
All right, Gold member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only 2 things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
What?
Marvel Studios is reportedly in early talks with Jake Schreier, director of the most recently released Thunderbolts, to helm the upcoming X-Men reboot. Scrivener, I think. Scriver. Sorry, I think I've mispronounced his name. Involvement suggests that Marvel is pleased with the success of the Thunderbolts, which earned 173 million globally, and it is the highest rated MCU film since 2021's Spider-Man No Way Home, which is technically Sony. The X-Men project will be penned by screenwriter Michael Leslie, known for The Hunger Games, Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, and Assassin's Creed. Oh dear. Kevin Feige is set to produce it, as always. He's going to slap his name on it. It's going to be crap. This is in development with Marvel's strategy of integrating the mutants into the MCU, with recent hints in Ms. Marvel and multiverse cameos from former X-Men actors. Fans are hopeful that the new X-Men films will introduce fresh characters and ideas into the franchise.
Well, so I heard a rumoured casting. And if it's true, I actually think it works for me. I tried to watch The White Lotus because it was set here, right? And I thought it was. I don't understand what the hype was. It was a terrible TV series with not a single likable character, and it was genuinely dreadful. But it was interesting that, for the most part, they got the cultural atmosphere of Thailand right. But Schwarzenegger's son was in it, right? Okay. And he plays a bit of a dick. But the rumour is they're casting him as Cyclops. And I say yes to that because it works. Because Cyclops was a bit of a dick at times. And
no, he wasn't. He was like Leonardo with the Turtles. No,
he was a bit of a dick.
No,
no. Yeah, he was. It was a knob.
No, he wasn't. He was not a dick.
Times. He was a bit.
The only time he was a knob was to Wolverine. And that's because Wolverine was being an arsehole to him first.
Yeah, and Cyclops was a bit of a dick at times. I'm not saying he was a complete knob. He wasn't. He was, but he was a bit of a dick at times. And actually, towards, I think what I'm trying to say is that although Schwarzenegger's son plays a bit of a dick in The White Lotus, at the end of it, he kind of redeems himself. And I was looking at this guy going, yep, that works for me. So, yes, they are recasting the X-Men. And actually, I quite like the casting for Cyclops. I think this is what they got to do. They are making an MCU X-Men film. I am putting my money on now that the next title, Avengers, I said this to you last week, and this is making me think even more so. Because I'm a comic book nerd, the next big Marvel Cinematic Universe thing that they can do and will be Avengers versus X-Men. I'm telling you, that's the next one. It makes sense.
I will raise you, and it will be Avengers x X-Men.
Well, they're not going to do as much as I want them to do it, because I think it'll be brilliant. I want them to do Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Because they did that as a comic book series, and it was really quite funny. But they're not going to do that.
But they fucked up Taskmaster, so I don't know who's going to sort that out.
But it will be. This is confirmation that they're doing an X-Men film. We'll get it in 2027, potentially, or 2028. But we are going to get an X-Men film. And I reckon 2030, I'm saying it now, 2030 will be Avengers versus X-Men. And if they do it right, that they need to build that time. They need to do what they did originally when they started. They're going to do a reset after Secret Invasion, and they've got that 3 years to release a couple of movies, bring out an X-Men movie, then bring out a couple of other movies that feature some of the mutants in it, and then build it up to Avengers versus, and that'll be great.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not sure about the director though. Sorry.
I don't think it's gonna happen like that. I think this is gonna fuck it up royally. My money's gonna fuck it up royally.
Well, I mean, again, some interesting stuff came out about Feige because there were all of these projects that he was having to get involved in, right, with all the TV projects, apparently he was stretched way too thin. And that's part of the problem of the films. And again, when you look at the timeline, kind of makes some sense. Yes, they, you know, the fact is they also went woke, which was dumb, right? But it wasn't the only factor. You know, Feige's always done well before. So the fact is that, you know, those first few years, Feige did really well. So he's not completely shit.
But he had oversight. There were people making sure that the ship was steered correctly. And the moment they went, it went to shit.
I agree. I think the MCU can be salvaged. But you're right. That there is all the possibility that they're going to fuck it up. So, yes. Anyway, shall we do the comments?
Let's do the comments. Let's, here we go. Let me sound it. There we go. Okay, so with claiming the gold medal this week, it's Chuck. Congratulations, Chuck.
I think that's a
And hello, Chuck. Oh, and there's Laurie. Say hi, Laurie.
Hi, Laurie.
Got the tickets for Mission Impossible. When is it out? Because I haven't been paying attention. Next week. Okay.
I'm going to see it next week.
Yeah, I think this is when we're going to the Disney figures, saying it's crazy, and then Biffa, he gets bronze this week. Shane went, Biffa, come on, man. It wasn't I Survived Doctor Who. I stopped watching Doctor Who. I just watch people's reactions to it. Did you watch it?
I tried to, but it was really bad, and they brought Joe Martin back again, very, very briefly. So they're doubling down on the Timeless Child, and I know he's doing it on purpose. And why divide a fan base? I just totally disagree with the Timeless Child. It should never have been done. It was arrogant to do it, and it was done deliberately. And now they're reaping the benefits. That's why no one's watching it anymore.
Yeah.
No, it was shit.
So, Steve! Hi, Steve!
Hi, Steve.
Right, so, oh, sorry. Yeah, you did post twice. It's odd. Alright. Avatar. Yes, Avatar. Yawn. Drone humour. Oh, fuck. Now I realise what you said. They are big orange bus-like ones.
No, they're the very fast FPV ones.
Oh.
But they do have a bit. The second one does have a bit of orange on it, so you can see it.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's some big bus-like ones. They're great for taking stable shots. And then we've got. It feels like there are only a true few ideas. It's not necessarily the ideas. It's the what do you call it? It's the application of those ideas, and they're not very good at them. It's like, even though I'm guilty of that. You're making YouTube videos. You got a bloody award for a documentary, so just pat yourself on the back. If I was in, yes, if I was in charge, dude, if I was in charge, everyone, things would work and things would be great and terrible all at the same time. And let's be a stupid gamer wishing Happy Mother's Day to everyone who is having Mother's Day today, apart from us, because we had it on the 15th of March, early.
No, technically, the rest of the world had it.
Late.
Yeah, that's why he put American Mother's Day, because America celebrates it now. Thailand has something called Mother's Day, but it's to do with the royal family, and that's later on in the year.
So yes, keep something like the rest of the world. It's Mother's Day. Yeah, it's an odd one, that. Right, all you Americans need to do is learn how to play fucking rugby. Seriously. It's not a million miles away from American football. You learn to play rugby, you can play with the rest of the world, and when you're world champions, you can actually say that you're world champions. And we will lovingly invite you in. No stupid fucking pads, though, yeah? You just get some bandages for your ears.
Man's game. I used to play rugby at school. No fucking stupid helmets, no fucking pads, right? You take somebody down, you take them down with your fucking shoulder. Oh, man!
plus the rest of the world play it, more importantly, and it's not a million miles away, and it'll be the kind of thing you like.
And I'd like you to
only
beat
in
the
America.
Australians, because that would be funny.
Oh yeah, that would be great. That would be great. You can do it. That's not outside your capabilities. Only in America. I take these flowers back then. Had an awesome dinner last night with the in-laws. Went to our niece at the Casino Steakhouse. Nice. I think your average.
Ooh, I'd love to go to a steakhouse.
I've got a steak place down the end of the road from me. It's not very good, which is really annoying.
Oh,
Just catching up with the
you're a
chat.
lucky boy.
Yes. Mother's Day. I was ours was in March. Anyway, happy Mother's Day to all you in America. And then we got a load of my mum just called me. Thanks, Laurie, for the dinner. That's nice. I'm talking about general stuff here. Missed some of this, but I'm sure you guys understand. That's fine. The first White Lotus was brilliant.
I never watched it, so if I might try it. The third series was terrible in terms of characters. There was nothing likable about it. It was just interesting seeing it set in Thailand. Some of the music they used was interesting. I mean, I tell you what, I kind of liked. I sympathised for Walter Goggins' character, but at the same time, it wasn't. I don't understand what the hype was about when it comes to the third season, but that's just me.
And then we've got the missus here. Had to take charge of the others, when the others had fun, Leonardo Turtles. Bollocks.
No, I agree with you on that, but I always thought the Cyclops in the films was a bit of a dick, but that was partly because of the way the actor played him. But even in the cartoons, he was a bit of a knob at times, but not total knob. You know, it was like 20% knob.
Excited to see Mission Impossible. Some foods and drinks and the super screen.
Yeah.
I need to go and see that. I liked the last Mission Impossible again. Was it great? It was good. No, I really enjoyed that actually.
I'm looking
Apart from when they
forward to
killed
that
off Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah, well, it's got Hayley Atwell, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's
What
not
does
entirely-
What does Captain America say about Hayley Atwell? I could do her all day. I could do this all day. No, just no.
No. Yeah. We do things the right way. See, we drive on the right side of the road. We drive.
We put our dates correctly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one
we do
really
the dates
important thing you need to.
You see, so we do things like the rest of the world does. Just saying.
There's some. It's weird because some of the comments from Twitch aren't coming through because I can see them on the Twitch control room. So we've got a bit of Stupid Gamer and an echo in there too. So yes. You guys driving the wrong turn.
It's on.
Hold on a second. Wasn't it the Germans who invented the car? And I know this because the first person to crash a car was a woman. Did you not know that?
We invented motor racing. I mean, I know the fact that Americans now own F1, but we invented it.
Yeah. Okay, all right, let's turn that thing down. We've got a trailer to
On the wrong
watch.
side of the road. No, we drive on the right side of the road.
Yes. Anyway, we've got a trailer to watch. I've got to find that bloody- So let's
I
watch this
purposely haven't
trailer.
watched this, so this
good.
is new for me.
Okay, unfortunately, I can't pause it for you.
They're gonna be doing backflips to get you to John.
Welcome, Peacemaker, or do you prefer Chris?
Either's fine.
Just like point out, that's James Gunn's brother. Put in nepotism there.
Can you tell us a little about your skills?
I'm considered
Also, can you see who's sitting next to him?
the finest marksman in the world.
The mic is off.
Yeah.
I am also proficient in hand-to-hand
Is
combat.
that?
How many more of these do we have today?
Is that popcorn still here?
Oh, from
Guy
Superman.
Gardner, Green Lantern, played by Nathan Fillion.
My butts are getting really big lately, so.
I have a variety of helmets.
This guy sucks.
Excuse me? Am I supposed to be able to hear you guys?
Excuse me?
You were talking about your butt and stuff? And also you said that I suck?
It is not funny.
I don't get it. We saved the world.
I thought everyone would finally treat us like heroes.
I don't need anybody else to just forge my own path.
You're living in the worst level of Grand Theft Auto.
I've come to the conclusion you suffer from a particularly severe form of toxic masculinity. What?
Oh, that's James Gunn's wife, by the way.
What?
Argus has been monitoring Peacemaker ever since Rick Flag Sr. was named director.
Does he know that I have?
Kill this time? Yeah.
Bring me Peacemaker.
Mexicali, you scan for any anomalies throughout that house. Pony Boy, don't let him out of your sight. Titties, I want you to take the front door. Encino Man, you take the back door. Got it?
I sound like to talk to people at work. I really like to talk to fucking useless pot plant. Do better.
Yeah, but not the fucking names, dude. You can't just call us that. Where do you think we are? Fucking Berkeley?
We haven't always been great people. But we are the 11th Street Kids. No one will ever break us apart. You ready for the next adventure, pal?
Keep on keeping on.
Who the fuck are you?
So, I'd just like pointing this bit out here. Hang on a second. His dad had this weird interdimensional space in his house, didn't he? Where he kept all his stuff. And this looks like there's more stuff back here. So all these rooms.
You see, because this is set in the old DCU, right? So how has it got Guy Gardner in it? Because Guy Gardner's in the new thing. So I reckon that there is some timey-wimey dimensional shit, and somehow he's going to pull Peacemaker into his new DCU. But I like how they put on this trailer from the director of Superman, bearing in mind that Superman's not out yet. Most people are not. It's not yet in people's. Yes, okay, they've started doing promo marketing, but they haven't stepped that up yet. They won't do that until July. So it's like from the director of Superman. Well, it's not out yet, so how do I know it's good?
True. But I liked the first Peacemaker.
I love
the question.
Peacemaker.
I know the question on my wife's lip. It's what song are they going to have for the intro, and what dance routine are they going to be doing? Because she fucking loved that intro, and I don't blame her because it is a fun intro. It really is. It's just some balls to the wall mad intro that they were like, "Let's do this. It'll be interesting." So yeah, it looks good. I've got something to look forward to. I think it's. Did we get the date? Did we get the date?
Who the fuck are you?
August. It's August. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That looks interesting.
I'm glad that's coming out. I've got Max. So that'll be fine. It looks good. Yeah, I'm with you on it. I enjoyed the first one. The intro was great. Wacky. I quite liked Peacemaker, the TV series. I like what's his face. He can never really play a bad guy that well. he ends up always redeeming himself. I hope he's not dead in the Fast and the Furious, but I think he is. But I hope he's not. But no, yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. August. Right.
So, what do we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Mobland?
Briefly, yeah. Let's talk about that before we go into.
Let's talk about Mobland. So Mobland's it's a TV show on Paramount Plus. Stars Tom Hardy, Paddy Constantine, Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, and a load of other people. And it's set around a guy called Harry, who looks after a family called the Harrigans, and then all their fun dealings. So it starts off, I think, their rival, a guy called Richie, his son goes missing after spending a night out clubbing with the Harrigan's grandson. I can't remember his name now. He plays such an annoying prick so well, that actor. He really does. And you can hear him holding his voice a certain way. So even his voice makes you want to punch him. And I can hear the effort that the guy's making as he's talking. It's like that and slightly nasally. Really good fucking actor because you want to just smack the bastard. And Helen Mirren, oh my, what a bitch. What a fucking bitch.
She's... I don't know if she's got some kind of mouthpiece in, because her mouth seems a bit of a different shape. I think she's got some kind of fake mouthpiece. I mean, especially when the wife of Richie freaking calls her, makes her look stupid, and the anger and everything on her face, and the what a cunt, the way she does it, but I gotta say, right? I mean, it's a brilliant TV series. Do you think Harry is the snitch?
No.
And that there's going to be a twist, or do you think it is Helen Mirren?
It's not Helen Mirren. It's not Helen Mirren. It's Paddy Constantine's character, Kevin. He's the snitch.
You reckon?
And do you know how I know? Because the director tells you it with his fucking direction, and it's great. So I'll give you an example, yeah? They're talking to the grandson about whatever's happened to Richie's son, yeah? And in it, you've got the grandson, he's out of focus, and in the background, in focus in the mirror, is Helen Mirren, because she's the one who told him to fucking do it. So she's the responsible one. Later on, they talk about snitches and stuff, and it cuts to the police thing where they're tracking, and a guy's on the phone, and in front of him is a TV screen, a monitor. And on the monitor is Kevin. So it's like the police, and they're just like framing it, going, this... Keep an eye. And that also explains why if he was working with the police, he would be really fucking aggroed about that prison guard. Because you think about the fucking level of betrayal and stuff that's going in there. He seems a lot more separate, a lot more
abused
calmer
by the prison guard. He claims to Harry he doesn't remember him, but it leads you to believe it's because he's traumatized by it. I mean, some people have said that it could be him. And that's going to be pretty brutal if it is him.
There are other things too. There are other things too in it, because when they've got him sitting down with the family, he always sits separately. They all sit in the sofa, and he sits on one chair on his own, like he's separate from the whole thing. If it is him, they did just plenty of visual cues to line it up.
It's either him or Helen Mirren. It's either him or her.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people are saying, the twist will be that it is actually Harry. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's Harry.
No, I think he'd see it as making his life far too fucking complicated. That's how he'd see it. And he wouldn't want that. And the question is, are they going to resolve all of this at the end of the series? And I want them to. I really want them to. And then tell us a different story next time. I've
really, really enjoyed it. I think it's really good TV. It's really well made. It's really well acted. I mean, it's got a brilliant cast. I love Tom Hardy. I mean, I love Tom Hardy in almost everything. But and partly because I know he's a really nice guy in real life, and he likes dogs. So he's a good guy in my book. But I've really enjoyed Mobland, and it's really annoying because it fucking finishes on a cliffhanger every fucking week.
God.
Yeah, because it finished on Serafina behind the car.
Serafina and what's his mush?
Yeah, I mean that.
Poor Brendan.
What an idiot! What a fucking plonker.
No. He's an idiot, but he wasn't responsible for that. That was fucking Helen Mirren's character. I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
I'll blame. If I see Helen Mirren in real life, I'll blame her because I can't remember your character's name. But you're responsible for Brendan's death. But the fact that she's done this and the worst thing is, the bit that gets me is the fact that Pierce Brosnan, the character Jack Harrigan, or whatever his name is, he rolls over. She orders the car bombing. He rolls over. Yeah. She turns around and goes, Richie sent me a text. Show me the text. If you don't trust me. She rolls over. Maeve, thank you, Tanith. Maeve, he asked a text message, because if you don't believe me, blah, blah, blah. And so, well, just show me it. It shouldn't be an issue, should it? Because you're making shit up. You overplayed your hand. She's going to come undone, which will be interesting. Harry's poor missus, though, she's going to get fucking done up, considering she's been talking to it. So, yeah, it's...
no, I think she's going to get away with it.
I don't know. I think it's going to come down to the wire and Harry's going to save her, and then she's going to tell me, you do care about me. That's how I think it's going to go. That's why I think storyline-wise it's going to go for Harry and his missus and whatnot. But it's really good TV. I started watching, I couldn't stop. That's how good it is. And I was like, I hung out the second to last episode so I could watch it and then watch the next episode the day after. I might go back and see if I can pick up on all the clues. I might send you some screenshots.
It's generally some really good television at the moment. I mean, I've watched that. I really enjoy the BBC TV series Race Across the World. That's back on at the moment. Going through some really interesting places. It's been in China for the last couple of weeks, but interesting in China. And now they're about to go into Nepal and India. And again, most of these... At some point, I've been there. And we've also got Charlie Boorman and Ewan McGregor are back in Long Way Home, they're calling this. And the first 2 episodes were really good. I always enjoyed those series. So lots of really decent travel stuff on. And then we've had Mobland, which is brilliant. And then we had Andor, which was truly fucking fantastic this week.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about...
I've watched it 3 times because
there's
so much in it, and how they have, and it's a fucking work of art. How they have worked around and intertwined and worked through the gaps of the canon that Rebels left. They filled in those blanks that Rebels left, because you and I have said this for years, and you know, one of the best things you ever did was introduce me to B5 and Rebels, because Rebels, whilst it was a kids' TV series in some places, in other places it really fucking wasn't, right? And
I think I sold it to you as when Moff Tarkin had those 2 guys beheaded.
Yeah.
And it was like, and you're like, oh, this is a kids show. Oh, yeah. It's quite interesting.
Rebels was brilliant, and these 3 episodes, I mean, I knew going in there were things that were going to have to happen, right? Either they were going to do Gorman they were going to have to do Gorman this week, because this is where we are in the timeline, right? So it was, how do you do Gorman, right? They're going to have to do Mon Mothma, making the speech and then getting pulled out. It was like how they did it, and the way they cast that guy that always plays the most arsehole of arseholes on TV, right? And they put a scar on him, which was even better. And the way the Empire does it, it's fucking genius.
All right,
and it's brilliant.
Let's talk about the one thing that is done really well, in this is one, they make the Empire seem competent and deadly.
Oh yeah.
And that's the bit I kind of like, because when you have the good guys fighting the bad guys, you need to make sure the bad guys are properly evil in order for you to go, right, we need to take these bastards down. Their bureaucracy is fucking evil. Their crowd management is evil. Their fucking androids are evil. Their mining is evil. Everything about them is evil. Who's the guy in charge who works with Dedra? The old fella.
Oh, he's the head of the ICB, isn't he?
ISB, yeah.
ISB, yeah.
He turns around and goes, oh, we tried looking for alternatives and this, that, and the other, and it's just bad luck Gorman. And it was like, that's a very fucking British way of dealing with it.
It's the fact that, I mean, the guy that they sent in, who just sits there, sends out a bunch of untrained, rookies into the crowd, right? And knowing what was going to happen, knowing that, and then fucking shooting one of them and just letting all of your own soldiers die purely so that you have an excuse to impose martial law and make it look like, well, we're, fuck Gorman because they're all bastards. Look, they attacked the Empire, blah, blah, blah. It was genius. And it was done with such precision, and it was done in such a brutal way. It's very rare that you have television like this, but it was so human. It was so, I mean, and the fucking bit where the poor daughter gets picked up by one of the fucking droids and just thrown. And you're like, oh. And Cyril, oh, God. I never actually thought I'd be upset. And I was. And it was brilliantly done.
And he was going to tell him about the mining operation. He was about to tell him about the mining operation, and he gets shot. He was literally about to turn. And I think Dedra might turn. I really think she might turn after she finds Cyril's dead and whatnot. I think she'll. Yeah, it was.
It's going to be interesting. Go on.
Yeah. No, I was just saying it was just the way it was kind of came across the fight where him and Andor are fighting in the thingy. They did it quite well because they had them cross paths a couple of times beforehand, and you had Andor go into the hotel where he meets the guy who was his concierge the last time, and he turns around and goes, "I didn't book you in, mate, because I know what you were up to. I didn't book you in." And it's like, oh, that was really nice. I like that. It's like, if I was on your side.
Yeah. I liked because he then lets off the grenade that allows them to escape the arena. But I mean, again, there are so many little things in there. I mean, Cyril dying the way he did, it was tragic. But everything was tragic about this. But it sets up the and again, you know, there's a great scene in the 9th episode between Mon Mothma and Luthen, and you feel sorry for Luthen because Mon Mothma just attacks him. Oh, you don't care, and it's like, trust me, he cares, right? Because you'd be dead, right? You know, way too fucking much, right? And they're going to an extraordinary details to get you off this thing, right? Off this planet. Anybody else, you would have been dead. Because you know too much. It would have been easier to put a bullet through you. Or, you know, and Luthen's going to obviously meet an end. But there's just so much in it. There were so many little things.
It was good. The bit I found fucking heartbreaking, which I wasn't expecting to find heartbreaking, is when fucking Bix says, "I'm leaving so you can carry on fighting for the rebellion. I choose the rebellion." And that was just like, I was like, oh again, man, it's the worst way to get dumped.
Again, it was understandable, and they broke their rule, and they broke their rule in a totally believable way, and I loved it. So all these fucking people go, "Oh, there's no force in it," right? They said they weren't going to do anything about the force. There was going to be no wizards, no magic in it, right? And yet you get a force healer who implies that Andor is destined for something. And Bix turns around and goes, "I've had these dreams. I've felt this." And if you go back and watch it, she says this throughout, right? And I thought she was going to get killed. This is more tragic. This is more gut-wrenching.
No, there is still a chance for her to die. And I'm going to say this, because you've got Rogue One, and leading up to the events of Rogue One, okay? I think Andor's going to find out she has died before he goes on that Rogue One thing. And that's why he has his relationship with Jyn Erso. The worst thing is, I'm going to finish watching this. I'm going to watch Rogue One. I'm going to turn around and go, I preferred this. I think is it a bit too lengthy? Yeah, it's a bit too lengthy. But is it? And the worst thing is it's more science fiction than sci-fi fantasy, which Star Wars primarily is. And as I said before, if you're a Star Wars watcher and you're finding it a bit too much, then it makes perfect sense.
These 3 episodes were mostly action. I mean, come on. The build up to the speech. That 9th episode wasn't boring at all. The 8th episode wasn't boring at all. The 7th episode was the build up. So you had the Yavin 4 is finally being set up. Bit gutted we didn't see the creation of Yavin, which I thought we might, but obviously Yavin is now is a base, but it's still a fledgling base. And again, the circles everywhere, even in his home, the circles everywhere. And it's like the Force is telling you something here. And then they do that scene with the 14er, which I thought was just a brilliant scene. It was just like, oh, and it all starts linking into place. So there was fantasy here. They did break their law, and they brought the fantasy in. And they brought fantasy in for a specific reason, to set up the ending of episode 9. And it was great. And it's tragic. I mean, I really was. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I had a fucking tear when Bix left. But then I liked the ending with the droid and Adam Tudyk's thing. So, you know, if I haven't offended, you mind pointing that somewhere else.
What do you call it? I think the Bix thing got me because I didn't think I cared about them. If that made any sense. And then it was like, oh, actually, no, I do give a shit about these characters, and that's I think that's the thing. That was the thing, and it made it good. Yeah, it kind of crept up on you. Oh.
Yes, it does, and that was what was so good about it, because I watched it all in one go, and I went, "What the fuck have I just watched?" And I'm like, I think that was really, really good, but I've got to be sure. And I went back and watched it, and going, "This is brilliant. This is intertwined." And I watched Rebels again. They changed the speech, but they didn't, because she makes another speech, right? And in Rebels, they if you go back and watch the details again, they say that, right? The speech that she makes is made just after the one that's broadcast, because they cut the transmission. But the speech that she makes is actually more powerful than the Rebels one. And then, you know, we've got the guy from his commander in from Rogue One is in it. Actually, Rogue One works. I watched Rogue One recently again, and
I'm waiting until it's all over.
It is a good end cap.
When did the little robot die?
Sorry,
I missed the little robot. He doesn't die.
No,
Where is he then?
He's left with them on the planet, the Corn Planet. She leaves them on the Corn Planet. Because everybody thought he screwed them over. The boss screwed them over, and it wasn't. Everybody except you and me, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Knew that wasn't him screwing over. That was them saving the boss from the Empire.
You haven't watched enough bloody World War II things with Nazis chasing down Jews and commandos and whatnot. Because when you do that, you always got that, and along with the what is it, where you're having a conversation in German? It goes, "Your German is very good, thank you very much." Ah, English spy. That one.
What was that from? That was
Great Escape.
Wooden Horse. Sorry,
Great Escape. Where they're testing.
Was it Great Escape or was it the?
It's where they're testing them. It's well, it was done in that.
I think it was also in the Wooden Horse as well, which is another great escape film. Same bloody. Started out Blue 3 as well. What was I going to say? I mean, the look, the aesthetics of it was made to be Second World War of Gorman. Like the mixture of French and other cultures in there. The whole thing was genius. I mean, those 3 episodes were beautifully made, beautifully written, and beautifully put together. It's tragic, it's brutal, and it was great TV.
Can I just posit something? Yeah, right. Because the Empire are all like British, and they're all from Coruscant, which is Space UK, right? We now have Space France and Space Germany, so all on the same planet. Coruscant's still cooler though. Take that, Frenchie.
I just
what a pathetic win.
I just got to say, though, I think that is now probably the best live-action Star Wars series. And I understand why some people don't. But if you're a fan of Rebels, you've got to watch those 3 episodes, because they beautifully intertwine with each other. I think we're going to get a cameo from the Ghost ship next week. We probably won't see... the cast of Rebels, but we will see Chopper.
Chopper. I think Chopper will turn up. I'm not sure about anyone else, but I think Chopper will be there. He's a little shit. He's like the arsehole version of R2-D2.
Yeah, but I love Chopper. Chopper's my favourite droid. I love Chopper. He's brilliant.
Such an arsehole.
It's the only good thing about the what's his face's series, about the Ahsoka series was Chopper. Live action Chopper was still great. I really enjoyed Andor this week. As I said, brilliant, perfectly made, really good TV. I disagree with a lot of what people are saying about it. I think because people are so negative about Star Wars now, they can't not be negative about this. But this was competently made.
As I said before, this is the least Star Wars thing that's been made with Star Wars name.
But we've spoken about this for the last 2 years, saying, if you're going to expand the universe, and actually the extended universe, a lot of things were set like this. I mean, the prequel to the prequel novel to
New Hope,
to before all of this started, so follows Jyn Erso's story and her father's story. That's very un-Star Warsy in some ways and very Star Warsy in others. You've got to set the Empire up as to what they are, and as an adult, when you look at this isn't just invading countries. This is invading entire planets. How the fuck do you do that? How do you keep them in check? This is how. And, even Lucas understood that with setting up the prequels. And again, these people that say they love the prequels and don't get this, the prequels are equally as politically. Okay, we've got people waving lightsabers in there, but there's all this political stuff there.
I prefer the politics in this, because this feels like evil Empire politics, which works better for me.
Yeah, that's because we've got to that point. Yes, it's un-Star Warsy in the fact that it's not got lots of people running around with lightsabers and stuff, but you don't have to have that in every Star Wars series. You don't have to have that. You don't have to have the childish element. You can do something like this in the Star Wars universe, and they have done that in Rebels. They did it in Clone Wars. They had some very adult themes, right? And as the Star Wars series, I don't want SA in the thing. Go and watch Clone Wars again. It's in there. It bugged me that. How can you be the biggest Star Wars?
It's weird because I see this as more as World War II in space.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes more sense when you see it as World War II in space.
And it's deliberately done like that. It's deliberately written like that. It's why you get that sort of French resistance getting killed on the streets of Paris, which is made to look like Gorm is made to look a bit like Paris in terms of its thing, and you're meant to think. But again, I just go back to the fact that was really good television. It was just really good television, regardless of whether it was Star Wars or not. It was really well written. And it's rare that we get television like that these days. It's why I like Paradise so much, because Paradise works on a human level. This works on a human level. So it was brilliant TV. Brilliant. It's really good week of TV.
It's weird because Diego Luna, I'm gonna watch Rogue One, and when Diego Luna dies in Rogue One, it's gonna hit me differently if this works, and I'm desperate for it to hit me differently, because the only one I really gave a shit about when he died was K2SO4, but that might change now. I've got a kind of feeling and whatnot behind that.
Here's the thing, because there was a great scene. When Mon Mothra's cousin, lesbian lady, picks up the gun and goes, "Whose is this?" The dude that went, "That's mine," is the guy that he escaped with from that base where he was building all the shit, right? Who is also in Rogue One movie in the background as one of things. I was like, "Oh shit, that bothers me now that he dies," right? But actually, they all died. All of the rebels died in that.
Yeah,
all of them died, including Admiral what's his face's ship. Everybody died in Rogue One except the Empire, but it already will bother you differently. It already will.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Even Jyn Erso's character, and because in this we got rebels are rebellion is born on hope, right? That's what the geezer that doesn't sign him in, says to Andor. Andor says it to Jyn Erso. Erso says it in when she's trying to convince all the rebels to go, to listen to her and go after these plans for the Death Star. So watch it again and get these details, because it leads into Rogue One, and it will make you think differently now that we've had all this, especially in those 3 episodes. As I said, there's so many things there. That one fucking line, rebellions are born on hope. And that's where that line came from. It came from the kid that sort of saved Andor. Andor then says it to Erso, and Erso says it to Dave. Tony Gilroy, you're a fucking genius. And I know you never really had interest in Star Wars, but either you've got some really good people behind you. Well, it's been made in Britain, so of course it's well made. Drive on the proper side of the road, make decent television. Know
how to act.
Yeah.
Know what crisps are.
Yeah, make the best bad guys. Yeah. None of this orange man bad. No. You want to see a good baddie. Yeah, get a British person to do it. I'll tell you what, there you go. Next president, British person. Then you can complain about having a bad... Sorry. Oh, God, I can't help myself.
Okay. All right. That's Star Trek.
Yes.
Times Arrow.
Yes.
I don't like this one as much as I did when I first watched it.
Why? Because Mark Twain irritates you?
Mark Twain's a dick in it, first thing.
Yes.
2, Data's head, no proper degradation in his head over 500 fucking years. Bullshit. Some worm has climbed in there, yeah? If it would have been Geordie picks up his head, and he's in engineering, he shakes it and a shit ton of dust comes out, and a few cockroaches, I would have believed it a bit more. The weird aliens with the fucking mouths in their heads eating engine. Yeah. It felt really Doctor Who.
Yes.
It felt really fucking Doctor Who.
Yes.
But it was time travel. And that's probably what they based their stuff on. I like the fact that you had Guinan being on Earth during that time. Mm-hmm. And she was some madam something, and there was no connotations of anything else that we get today in our stories. I like that. I like the fact that it's like she's like, no, Picard, you need to go to the cave. Trust me, go to the cave. There's a reason I know so much about you, because you go to that fucking cave. I like the idea that the things were just slightly out of sync. That was quite a cool thing that they did. Worf couldn't go because he's Klingon. Sorry. Who was the bellhop? I forgot who the bellhop was. The bellhop was someone. I don't know.
But this was how Picard first met Guinan, which is what Picard Season 2 forgot. Funny enough, this was made exactly the same time as Sister Act came out. So it was Whoopi Goldberg in her prime. And when the Whoopi Goldberg that you get, or the version of Guinan you get on the ship, is older and wiser. But I like how they she almost switched to her kind of Dolores, Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, for a while she played the same character in all the films. I mean, when she was in Ghost as well, and Jumping Jack Flash, which is one of my favourite Whoopi Goldberg movies. She was much more like that when she was younger Guinan. And that worked for me. Is it the best two-parter? No. Was it better than Unification? Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
So I enjoyed it. It's not the best one. The next week's one, I think, is the Cardassian one. Oh, did you notice that it got Cole Descartes in Time's Arrow as the
one
that Cole plays it?
At the pool at the poker table. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Cole Descartes. That actor,
yeah,
because it's funny because they always put Miles O'Brien. They kept him around and gave him a proper part in DS9. And I imagine can't remember his name. Where's Caldecott? Marco something. Fantastic guy. But yeah, no, that was good. It's Twain was a twat. I really couldn't stand him. He just seemed like a interfering, doddering git. It didn't make him interesting. It made him annoying, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to make him interesting.
And I didn't realise until you told me last week who the actor is that played him, and now I see it. But before
Mr.
I didn't.
X, yeah, from the X-Files.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was under a ton of makeup. So what's it? Come to the cave, Data. We found your head, and it's Data's response to it because means I die at one point, which is great. And I'm like, no, it's not. We don't want you to die. It may be next week for all we fucking know. This is a preview.
I thought that was interesting. Picard's reaction, not sending him down. Data gently chastising him for it, not understanding why they were doing it. I thought that was interesting. The trouble is with these remasters, right, and these upscalings, right, that they've done on all of them. When you watch it on a 4K TV, right, the bit where Data comes in after the rest of the crew have punched out the copper and stolen the snake thing, right, and they're riding away, it's so obviously not Data, right?
Yeah.
Riding the horse. I mean, it's so obviously not. I mean, they basically took another guy, painted his face white, and the guy doesn't even look remotely like Data. And you see it in those remasters. It's so clear. That's the problem these days with, like, you know, upscaled, upracial things. Stunt guys are so much more obvious now.
Yeah.
And it was really obvious there.
What was the other thing I watched recently that was set in there and it was obvious it's stunt? I think it might have been Star Trek. I watched another episode of something. I can't remember. But yeah,
it was obvious. It was very obvious actually. So yeah. But I enjoyed it. I didn't, you know, it felt like watching an old friend again. I love these remastered versions of the episodes, except for the fact that it's obvious to see the stunt guys. But actually, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was quite an interesting story. I liked the kind of mystery of it, the adventure of it. You're right, it absolutely did feel Doctor Who. At those points, you're absolutely right. It was very Doctor Who-ish in places. Very un-Star Trek.
Where you had the aliens disguising themselves as something else. It's just such a fucking Doctor Who trope.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But no, it wasn't too bad. But we've got next week's one's going to be an interesting one because I have not watched it for a very long time. But it is the Picard torture one, I think.
Yeah, the one that everyone goes, oh my god, it's so amazing, blah, 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 blah. It's 1984. It's 1984. Don't give me this original shit. It's from 1984. From 1948.
It was still quite good TV, though. But I haven't
know, it was good TV, but everyone's like, oh no, it's original. It's like, and then everyone tries to say that it was ripped. No, bollocks. It was 1984. The lights, specifically the lights. Yeah. So you got that one. That's the one with Jellicoe in it, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
See, as a kid, I thought Jellicoe was a prick. But as an adult, I'm going to sit there and have a different fucking opinion on him. I really am.
The trouble is, the actor, who, funny enough, actually, Jellicoe comes back again in, oh, God, what was the Voyager continuation cartoon? Protostar thing. Was it called Protostar?
I have no idea.
You remember, right, the animation, Jellicoe's in that. But the trouble is, the actor was a complete prick in Stargate. And I mean, he was a prick in Stargate.
He always plays pricks.
Yeah, and he does it very well. He does it
Ronnie
very well.
Cox, that's the name of the actor. Oh, they've got like two. They've got three two-parters in next season.
Yes, I know. But he voices the character in the Star Trek cartoon as well.
I had a friend who's met Ronnie Cox. He said he's fucking lovely. You wouldn't believe how nice he was and how polite he was as a person.
Do you know? It was the one I went to with my mate Noffy, not the one at London Comic Con I went to with you. But I once bumped into. I know his name was David something. The guy that played like the ambassador in Star Trek 5, and then played the Klingon ambassador in Star Trek 6. What was his name?
He was
David
in bloody,
something.
David,
In everything.
It's. I don't think it's David. It's not David. It
is David. In he literally was in everything at one point. I mean, British actor just in fucking everything.
He was in Doctor Who on the thingy, on the submarine one. He used to do character voices. Oh, what was it? Star Trek Undiscovered Country. He was in there. Cracky. I'm fucking going. It's David Warner.
David Warner, that was it. He was walking around the Comic-Con. And it was the same time that I met Danny Jones, who fucking awesome guy, by the way.
He's the only member of Red Dwarf I've not met.
I've met him. Bummed a cigarette off me. But it was because he was taking. It's like basically I went to the London Comic Con with my mate, and my mate had booked all these fucking signings, right? And I had to come along and take the pictures, right? So I was kind of like the hired cameraman, right? And we're lined up to see Danny Jones, and he starts taking the piss out of me, going, the hired cameraman. I went, yeah, that pretty much fucking sums it up like that. And he started laughing, right? And then I'm in the fucking queue to meet Warwick Davis with him, because, again, had to take the fucking picture. And Danny Jones comes up to me. It's like, this queue's going to be an hour, mate. And I was like, yeah. And we got talking to him, and I said, right. I said, look, you're going to be here for another fucking half an hour. I'm going out for a cigarette. And he goes, good idea. And he come with me. I'm sitting there talking. I'm sitting there having a fag with the cat. It was awesome. But then I was walking around and I bumped into David Warner and I went, excuse me, can I have your autograph? And he goes, like that. I know who you are. I said, and I said, you played my favourite Klingon, or one of my favourite Klingons. You were in Star Trek 6, you were in Star Trek 5, and I started rounding off all these things. B5. He was in B5. He's been in loads of fucking things. I said, you were in everything. And he was just walking around. This was before he died. And again, really nice guy. Sylvester McCoy was a bit of a miserable bugger until I told him that you're the whole reason that I started reading, to which apparently cheered him up. Because I met Sylvester McCoy there.
When I met Sylvester McCoy, he was lovely. He was lovely.
Yeah, it was the last day of a 7-day. I think London Comic Con's like 5 or 6 days, isn't it? And he was looking miserable. And I said to him, look, I have to say this. You are the whole reason I started reading. He just looked at me and I went, well, not only are you my first Doctor that I actually properly remember, but you did Jack and Nori and you read a book called My Friend Walter. And his face lit up and he goes, you remember that? I went, yes, because it encouraged me to read. And I went and read that book myself. And I've never given up reading. And it was... I have always had issues reading, but you encouraged me to read. And he was lovely after that. Really nice. I got a picture of him, which was free. Oh, everyone else had to pay, but I got it free.
I got a free picture. I got a free picture with him too. And
he's a nice guy.
Like we said, we missed because we couldn't make the photography this morning because of traffic. And I went, don't worry. And we just got one with him. Very sweaty. The funniest one I think is probably Virginia Hay, who plays Zan in Farscape. Her and my missus were fucking nattering for about 40 minutes. I took a picture of her while she was eating. She told me off like a fucking school teacher. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, before we go, last week I was playing silly videos and stuff, so I think I'll play something a bit more sensible. If I've got... Well, I can't find the tab! Where did I put the tab? There it is. So I'll play this.
If you're into travel, thinking about traveling, or planning your next trip, this is the channel for you. We're Chuck and Lori, and we are your YouTube world travel guides. From the subways of New York City, to the streetcars of San Francisco, to the highlands of Scotland, under the seas of the Caribbean, or even on a glacier in Iceland. We're going to take you on adventure, give you ideas, and help you plan your own trips. We want you to watch us on the biggest screen you can find and feel like you're traveling with us. Our channel is to help you and inspire you.
I've been there!
I want to go on... as much as I'm not the biggest fan of roller coasters, I do want to do that bobsleigh thing. I don't want that car.
It's funny that the Iceland bits pretty much point at all of the ones that we saw. We didn't stop at the plane.
Oh, Stonehenge.
Oh my god.
Holy cow.
Where was that, Chuck? It says to me. Where was that? I can fly one of those.
So can I. It's not
So what are you waiting for? Pack your bag and join us. Subscribe now.
Subscribe. Do it now.
Yeah, subscribe. Do it
Go
now.
and subscribe. They need love. Go and do it.
Yeah, they give us plenty of love, so I thought if they give us some love back. It's too hot to wear the jumper he gave me.
Too hot. Was it like 22 degrees there?
It's the fucking UK that we don't believe in air conditioning. Do you know what we did? Do you know what our ancestors did when it was too hot? We went and invaded another country. Just to find the right temperature. But yes. Figured that was that. So that's good. And there you go. Angel says he thinks he's already subbed, which is good.
By the way,
Awesome.
I was only joking. I like Chuck pokes as much fun at me as I do with him, so I was only joking about our American cousins. So yes. Anyway, yeah, it's been a good week in terms of television. Hopefully, Andor sticks the landing because it's the final 3 episodes this week. So hopefully, it sticks the landing. And yes, we'll see what else happens. I couldn't get, as I said, Biff, I couldn't get through Doctor Who this week. Apparently next week is a Eurovision Song Contest episode, except it's called, what was it? The Universe or Universe Contest or something. Anyway, it's going to be really gay. But it might have Graham Norton in it, so it might make me laugh. But it's got Rylan in it, for God's sake. So it's going to be uber gay. No, there you go. Thanks, Angel. Check it out.
Thanks very much. And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from him.
Oh, fuck off, Keith. Just say goodbye.
Goodbye!